We greet you well and we say good morning to you and welcome as we rise like the rising sun here on top of the bridge up and go. My name is Richie B.
Blessings, Bridge Nation. You know this is your boy Shelz.
Good morning, Bridge Nation. It is your girl, Queen JoJo.
Morning, Bridge Nation. DJ Audley's in the building.
All right. We're all here. And Romy's across the glass. Looks like you got a haircut. What is that at the front of his forehead? Anybody knows?
Boy,
Style.
Drake.
Yo, Drake him go. Something is going on, Romy. We need to get an explanation.
Easy.
All right, how's everybody doing today?
I'm great.
We're at the 10th day of the month of October. It's not that much of a new month again.
No,
Yeah.
we're headed in there.
Yeah.
Straight
So
through.
the more we keep counting up these days, the more we have to remind our listeners that Christmas is just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
Yeah, man, it gets that way at the end, the last quarter of the year.
Yeah.
It just runway. So
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it moves faster than the earlier parts,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Getting ourselves together.
We need to. I wonder how the Bridge Nation is doing. Bridge Nation, tell us, how was your weekend? Is everybody doing good? It's now time for us to get into the feature. WTF?
What? The fact?
All right. It is obvious that Shelz
Yeah, man.
decided against going ahead with this particular one. And I'm trying to talk to you about, I did not mean to say spawn whales because that would be totally incorrect.
Yeah.
I'm going to read my script
Yes.
and tell you that we're looking at sperm whales this morning, and particularly sperm whales in the Caribbean, because we understand based on research that they have a different accent than other whales in the ocean. So here's the deal, and here are the facts. A trio of researchers working off the coast of the Caribbean island of Dominica, they have found evidence that suggests sperm whales living in the Caribbean Sea have a different accent than sperm whales living in other oceans. Sperm whales, which communicate through specifically spaced clicks called codas, are known to have dialects. And for a recent study, Shane Guerrero spent 6 years listening to sperm whales that live in the Caribbean and found codas unique to their regional groups. These sounds may identify individuals and family or even social groups, just like first and last names.
Yo.
And they say, and Mr. Guerrero wants us to put this out as a fact.
Yeah.
It's not speculation anymore.
Yeah. So,
We don't know why they're called sperm whales.
we don't want to even look into that, you know.
Right? But there's a reason, I understand.
Yeah.
There is, in fact, a reason.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because already people from this region, we already sound different. You know what I mean? So it's nice. It's kind of interesting that the creatures, or some of the creatures, you'd be surprised. Probably all the creatures them have accents that are similar to ours. Suppose, you know, because I think that type of species splashed up off our coast recently. So probably just pop up and so have a little pot to it. I don't know. That's not bad.
They communicate.
I think that's interesting.
One of the distinguishing features with the sperm whales, by the way, is the fact that they feed at greater depths than others do, and they mostly eat squid, and also they are recognized by their massive head. I don't know if that is for a part of storage. I don't know. I mean, this is speculation
I
now.
know why they call it that. No, think about it what you just said a while ago. They're distinguishable
I
by
have
the
thought
massive.
about it. That's
by
why
the
I
massive.
said
It makes sense.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
That's why they call it that.
No, sir.
Oh.
No, listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people head full up of all kind of things.
Yeah.
Sperm whales head full up of all kind of things too. That is a fact.
And them eat squid.
And them eat squid.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Yeah.
WTF.
What the fact?
A few updates is what we have for you right now. Starting off with one that Jody's very excited to get into.
All right, Bridge Nation. So we know say over the weekend it was just pure excitement. Palm Putte, Dovey Magnum, Spice, Lisa Mercedes, Destra, all these Caribbean queens, Nicki Minaj in the Fine Nine for this for this what we call Little Miss remix which makes sense because obviously it's a little miss, so it's full time now. Some woman def on the remix, right, Richie? Because we have a hater in the corner there. We're not going to focus on him right now.
That's too strong about
right? So Nikki is over the moon. Well, Lisa Mercedes and Dofi Magnum is actually over the moon, for being a part of
not
this.
To mention Pampute.
And not to of course, not being biased or anything, but Pampute verse is the hottest on it. She go hard. She go hard. But these women are just excited. These Caribbean queens are just excited to be a part of the collaboration with Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj is showing so much love to the Caribbean, to the dancehall community as well, So I'm very proud of everybody. I really want to talk to Pampute one of I said, Pampute, you ready? Cause you go bust big now, But I want you to get an opportunity to listen to it, Richie, like every single one of the ladies.
I have listened to the song.
Yeah, listen to it. And Pampute just slap.
Yeah,
it just hot.
I'm impressed with her portion of the song.
Yeah, it just.
But overall, I'm impressed generally with all of it, and I'm also happy with what Nikki's doing in terms of giving exposure to the Caribbean and its talents.
Yeah, what I'm thinking, I really wish she didn't have done like the video with Skeng already, because with the ladies it would be fire. Doing a visual for that, it would be fire. I'm telling you. Some people might have issue with it, but we just say it would have slapped. Cause a little miss and an all-female group, all-female Caribbean people, dancehall, soca, it would just be dope. So congrats to those ladies again.
Yeah. All me officers. You understand? Everything on us makes sense, I love the idea what Nikki forward with, especially if that is the intention for just unite the queens of the Caribbean and upon a mad rhythm. Cause the rhythm are for the ladies,
Yeah.
Nah, go around. If I go party, I hear the rhythm dropping. Big up, boom, boom,
Yeah.
The girl them drop same time. You understand me?
Same time.
But my biggest concern.
What is it?
I just want to make sure it says Skeng and him team get all them forget. You understand what man said? Man, I go with this JoJo because to all the woman. Yeah, because to all the girl them go strong,
Aye.
It's easy for
Get Skeng.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. So let's hope when I'm going forward, everybody can work together and perform together.
He gets a feature.
Yeah, man. No, but I think it's Sachi that Nikki made a comment that Skeng is the future.
Yeah, man. We know she loves Skeng.
She really a push for him.
Remember what I'm saying? More when Nikki has shell down the arena them worldwide, she can call the Skeng.
Man,
she can call Pampute
with her.
And you know, she just left them on this track and them not say worldwide tours and things. That's just my.
Yeah.
I think Skeng is going to make quite a bit of money off of this. He and his team.
Yeah, man. That more. Yeah.
I remember he signed a big publishing deal with
Yes.
our friend over there in Portland. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So Skeng thing
Nah, man.
covered.
Boy. No. And here moving on to an artist who's doing very well internationally, but I like when artists take the time out to kind of introduce us to their fears in a sense. And I'm talking about Cranium. He's opening up about having anxiety over fears of being a one-hit wonder. Now, Cranium is coming back with a new EP, Hungry Than Ever, as he transparently spoke about, struggling with depression and battling the fear of becoming a one-hit wonder while creating musical masterpieces he wants to be sampled decades from now. Now, it's almost 10 years since Cranium released his smash hit, Nobody Has to Know, which had led to a remix with rapper Ty Dolla $ign and a label deal with Atlantic Records. The dancehall artist has continued to make a name for himself with songs like We Can featuring Tory Lanez and Gal Policy, which became immensely successful. Now he's back with a new EP, an 8-track project called In Too Deep, which draws on the same motivation that drove his early career. The artist says he continues to be inspired by the hardships he faced in life being an international dancehall artist. He says that track gives him a place of solace, knowing anyone can relate to it. However, he went on to say, I really thought I was going to be a one-hit wonder. Nobody Has to Know at that time when it came out was the only thing you were hearing. That was the only reggae that translated from the American market to Africa and the Caribbean at the same time. It was a hard mountain and a high one at that. I didn't believe I would climb that mountain because that was the same time I went into depression. The first time I knew what anxiety and depression were was when that song came out. You get so much love and then eventually it starts slowing down and you start thinking if everything doesn't seem the same anymore, and then it's like, what's next? Well, Cranium, we'll see what's next.
Yeah.
Go on to the good work, my G.
And that's fair.
I like that. I like that because
fair.
people were saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not going like people that say, "Oh, yeah, we're not gonna hear from Korean in the next 5 years or so." But see, the man still had the good work and good music.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He has gone past the one hit wonder stage.
Yeah,
a
man.
long time
Yeah.
ago.
But I
Yeah.
can understand that
Fortunately.
fear. Yeah, man, I can
But
understand
a lot of
that
artists,
fear.
when they have these monster hits,
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's
it's
like how them outdo
difficult
it. Yeah.
to
What's
surpass
his
that.
name? When
Or
I
even
was
measure
reading
up to.
this this morning, I think Omni.
Oh, Omi.
Omi. Yeah.
Omi known for it.
But you
Omi-
know,
Omi
I
working
just
music,
feel I
man.
don't know any other
The,
song
the,
for
the good
Omi.
thing in Omi's case,
Tuima.
he would have done so well and made so much money off of it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
rinse.
it's not always a bad thing though, because
Yeah.
Omi's song is so huge.
Yeah,
like
it
it's
is.
It's only look away when I
Monster.
stage
International.
performance
When
time. When I stage performance time, it's like, okay.
yeah.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird.
Hold on, Richie. That piece of food there, me just eat it.
Yeah, but you meet the good food, man.
Yeah, man, I do. But I
Big up Omi.
understand that fear. Big up Omi.
He was a police officer, you know.
Yeah.
Officer
Yeah,
Omi.
man.
Officer.
Yeah, he was a
Omi.
police officer. Made the switch to music. He actually did a song for the police that was quite popular, where he was encouraging people to give information and support the police and so on. Yep. All right, so Flipper Mafia is in the news. He has been released early on parole after serving only 9 years in prison. The once flamboyant dancehall artist Flipper Mafia has been released on early parole after serving 9 years in prison in the United States. Flipper Mafia, now 43, whose real name is Andrew K. Davis, was released from the East Jersey State Prison, EJSP, on Tuesday, October 4. Now, in 2016, Flipper was sentenced to a total of 25 years in prison, and I remember it well. That included 12 years of parole ineligibility. But some way, somehow, the terms are unknown. But in 9 years, and that is why I said only 9 years. In
Because
9
he was
years,
supposed to do
he's a free
more.
man.
Yeah.
So he was also ordered to pay $250,000 anti-money laundering profiteering penalty, and he was charged for his involvement in an international drug trafficking and money laundering ring that spanned Jamaica, New Jersey, and California. Under the New Jersey law, an inmate becomes eligible for parole consideration after serving 1/3 of their prison sentence. Flipper had been nabbed in 2013 along with his girlfriend Marsha Bernard and his brother Roger Davis, who was also sentenced in 2014. But 9 years, and Flipper is back out.
Good behavior.
I don't think he has been deported because I think he had documents that would allow him to be able to stay in the U.S. But he's a free man now in the free world. No doubt, a lot of lessons were learned. Do you think he's going to get back to throwing out money on his performances
I
and
don't
get
think
back into
so.
music?
I think he might get back into music,
think so?
but he will not be throwing out money.
You don't think so?
No.
I know a former colleague at a particular radio station I used to work. He went to Reggae Sumfest, particularly because he wanted to be up close to get some of the money that Flipper that he knew. And at the
Gas money go back.
I was working the stage and the man sent me a WhatsApp and said, Richie, look here. I must about $6,000 and get, you know. When Flipper dash out money in the bridge.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. But we wish him well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
For real, for real.
All the best,
Second
Flipper.
chances for everybody.
Yeah, the original Magla. Those are the stories inside of
Update.
20 minutes now before the hour of 7 o'clock. Hey, get them up. And it's now time for our back-to-back features, the proverb of the day. That will be followed by the pet peeve of the morning. Here's today's proverb.
Alright, so proverb of the day. Proverb of the day. If you back monkey, he will fight tiger. If you back monkey,
Yeah.
he will fight tiger.
The back monkey. Why? Alright. So back means if you support monkey, you show monkey has strength. If you fight tiger. This sound like along with this. I'm not looking at Jojo. So this sound like along the lines of like some encouragement. Like if you show encouragement to somebody, them can take on the most unlikeliest of tasks. Something like that.
Right there.
Like that?
Yeah, man. So the meaning is.
Encouragement and motivation drives belief and gives confidence.
Alright.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
here we go. I have a little loophole. So I'm gonna like this still.
What you don't like
Because
about
the way it sound, it
Yeah.
sound like a boost monkey figure
Yeah,
get
that
coof.
boots you.
No, but you can't take
Yeah,
boost
but-
figure get suppose the monkey can get coof.
No, but
now.
we think about it in a positive light.
Okay,
so,
sorry.
even though, so if you support somebody,
Imagine what you can do when you get a little
exactly.
encouragement.
If monkey I go fight
You know what I mean?
tiger.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, and just get big and bad and
Come
feel
on
yeah,
now.
we can conquer the world.
All right.
Yeah.
Until Tiger using punk.
Yeah,
There's a problem.
once
Yeah.
I wake up to it, like, yeah, all right.
So, all right, you know, at least I tried. I'm glad I tried.
Exactly.
I get it.
If you're back monkey,
He will fight.
he will fight Tiger.
No.
Yeah.
Go out there and
Encouragement.
fight tiger.
Encouragement and motivation drives belief and gives confidence.
That's right.
That's the proverb of the day. Now to the pet peeve of the morning.
Right. So if you're just joining us, pet peeve are things that people do to you that you find annoying, irritating, or even upsetting. And we have a pet peeve to share this morning.
Morning Bridge Nation and the whole Open Go family. This morning my pet peeve is a burning one again. You know what I mean? I don't like when a person employ me and don't pay me my worth for the job, knowing that I'm qualified. I'll never stop it.
All right, let me just get that right. He
So
says him don't like when
this listener is saying that he doesn't like when somebody employs him to do like any little job and they don't want to pay him what he's worth, what he's qualified, to do. There's like one for cheap out, scheme out the thing.
but wouldn't that have been discussed when the interviews were being conducted and when the offer was made? So
It all depends though, because it depends on your skill and it depends on the type of job, because a lot of persons are being robbed.
Well, the other thing is that if you're employed to do a particular task,
Yeah.
and then 10, 15, 20 different things are being added
Right.
without any additional compensation, then
Exactly.
maybe that is where the listener
stress
is having a
and
problem.
the problem comes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's no say in today's society anything you have to do with money a problem. So
Yeah, true.
yeah, so
True.
you can understand where the listener fall from, but
Don't leave the job still enough.
yeah, go on.
What was the fake call? At least I get a look,
Yeah, man.
You can pay a little bill at the end of the month,
Stay up on crooked and cut straight, my youth.
Ah.
You understand? Go and look out until something come, but don't just get vexed and walk off.
Yeah,
Not
no,
nice.
people
why-
can't even say yes.
Yeah, hungry no nice.
Not at all. Exactly
Yeah,
that.
and don't lose your cool on the job as well. You know what I mean? Just
Facts.
go and do what you can.
I agree.
And employers, please employ somebody to do a particular job.
Pay them
Don't
for
keep
it.
adding, and you're not adding anything to their salary. People are going to be disgruntled. You want to have happy employees around you, and that makes a big difference to your business.
It really does.
Oh,
It
yes.
really does.
Normal, lie.
Fully normal.
Fully normal. All right. I don't know why you all laugh when I use the slang. I mean, some women start use things like.
catch your ad.
Yo,
That's it.
some women gonna catch you. Some women gonna
Father.
catch you at home this morning.
Father
Father
Richie.
Richie.
First time I use normal lie, Shelz almost drop off of the chair.
Not expecting that.
No, because Richie sound like a prefect.
It sounds like a reprimand.
No, well, like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's normal.
Gross misinterpretation.
Don't
But Nakachi had something there, brother.
I'm at this thing right now.
Father.
Father Depo, big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Believe you me.
Yeah, man.
What next, dear Lord?
Lord.
All right, thank you, guys. That was the proverb of the day and the pet peeve of the morning. We can tell you that over the weekend, the People's National Party called out the Andrew Holness-led administration to remember its obligation under the United Nations Human Rights Convention, to which it is a signatory. The opposition further notes that forced evictions constitute gross violations of a range of internationally recognized human rights, including the human rights to adequate housing, food, water, health, education, work, security of the person, freedom from cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment, and freedom of movement. As a consequence, the actions of the government, according to this release, represent a blatant disregard for the tenets of the UN Convention on Human Rights and supporting international conventions to which Jamaica is a party. So, chairperson for the People's National Party's Human Rights Commission, Isat Buchanan, well-known attorney at law, he actually said the demolition the demolishing of homes in Portmore St. Cathrine, especially without the service of adequate notice and an opportunity to be heard, is especially egregious. as it was led by the government. And he went on to say a few other things, but we have him on the telephone, and so we'll say good morning and welcome, Attorney at Law Isat Buchanan. Morning, Isat. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Grace, and good morning to your listeners.
All right, glad to have you here with us this morning, Isat. First of all, could you explain from a legal perspective, the extent to which human rights were breached with this demolition exercise that has been undertaken over there in Portmore?
All right, so we'll start by our Constitution, our Constitution that governs our country. Every law, everything that we do, we live and breathe through the Constitution. And one of the things that the Constitution recognizes is human dignity. So no matter the circumstances, we have an obligation to each other because the human rights runs horizontally, not just a burden on the government or an obligation, but for the people in how they deal with the people. Now, where human dignity is concerned, if you find something that is not of your liking, you still have to address it and treat people like human beings. That is the first aspect of it that we look at in terms of breaching. Now, the government has obligations to its people, including finding adequate housing for every single citizen. It is a goal that every government across the world must strive to achieve, and Jamaica is not excluded or exempt from it. Now, that being said, we have our laws in this country, and it was simply breached. And the manner in which it was breached would have left persons whom I would have spoken to over the weekend feeling less than anything, less than what it is to be a person functioning in this society, the embarrassment, the mischaracterization of an entire community. There are people who waking up this morning in their subconscious thinking persons from Clifton are criminals, and not one person was arrested through this operation. And the heightened media attention and characterization of that class of people would have left human rights violations just completely stacked up.
Mm-hmm. We know that squatting has been a problem in this country for a long time, and I think based on that view, there are some who feel that the government is not at fault for demolishing the informal settlements in Clifton Portmore and Cathrine. What is your response to this?
I love how you put that so beautifully a while ago, because you said squatting is a problem for a very long time. That is what we want the entire country and the diaspora, the world at large, if they're listening, to understand. It is a problem. Is it illegal? That is the question, and that is where public education is important to understand that. The problem with squatting is that we have informal settlements, which oftentimes is not set up in a way that is conducive to proper human conditions. That is, persons move and they put up houses, but there's not proper plumbing, there's not proper infrastructure for light, water, roads. That is the only problem that you will have where it comes to squatting. But the people need to know where squatting is concerned, the law provides for it. So the means to owning land especially in the Commonwealth and Commonwealth states, even in the United States, is that you can have it by purchase, you can have it by inheritance, and you can have it by what is known as adverse possession, aka squatting. The law allows for it. So when it is that you fail to fence your property, fail to check on your property, and the government also have things in place in terms of protocols to monitor government lands, public education for persons who own land to monitor their private land so that they don't acquiesce to building structures, and you are to take care of your land. Now, when somebody is squatting on the land, they have up to 12 years for private lands and 60 years for government land. That means if you're a private citizen and you leave your land unattended and you show up 12 years later, whether you're in the world, whatever you're doing, and you fail to look at your grandmother's land, and you come 12 years later, the Privy Council has decided through recreational holdings that at the 12-year mark, that squatter is the rightful owner of the land and you cannot dispossess.
Even if that squatter did not pay taxes and so on?
No, so let me tell you about this land tax thing. Anybody can pay taxes, and on the date of adverse possession, the public needs to know is only 7 years back tax, and that 7 years the government don't care who paid. Possession is 99.9% of the law. So this thing about this Jamaica is a classist society, and I'm not even addressing the bad mind of people who don't own land and feel it wasn't right for those people to be ambitious to get the land. But what we have is how we feel about squatting versus how the law operates with squatting. And just know that there are a lot of persons in the upper echelons of society, business persons too, who simply adverse possess, squat on other person's land, trick poor people and tell them my grandmother owned this land and I'm coming for it after their families have been on it for over 60 years too.
Wow.
And that's why we have this conversation. We have the Maroons who have land from 1738 and government is saying that they want it now. We have to understand that even the crown who owns this land is take it away from people. There were people here first. And so when it comes to land and ownership, we must not forget that our brothers and sisters and some of us to date, we live on plantations, and when slavery ended, they just say you're free. And then they made vagrancy act and you're idle and you must go jail. But they never to this day gave us land. And the government has an obligation, and I'm going to be passionate about it. Every citizen, even if you can't read and write, you must own land. And that's what NHT was about. So while we sit down and we condemn persons who are squatting because they have to live somewhere, if you are a citizen, you must live somewhere. And my hope is that you live somewhere correct. Yes.
No, Shelz here. I'm, as you rightfully said, I'm hearing your passion, sir, and I really appreciate it. And thank you for the insight. But I'm trying to find some purpose within the passion. So, will the People's National Party be assisting those who are affected?
Yes, most certainly. And the assistance is that for those persons who have been affected and the situation is nuanced. There are those that had limited permission. There are those who possibly had been the outright squatters. But because there was a lack of requirement for the notice, which, if it is private land, 30 days, lands under the Rent Restriction Act. If it is not commercial, it is also 30 days. That failure to give that notice, adequate notice, is important, and that's something that must be tested in the court. But also the public needs to know that it is the court who deals with evictions and demolition orders. And when the improper notice is not given, then there are repercussions for that, and compensation is a part of it. And we must all I'm saying, in short, treat people like human beings and give effect to human rights. Not just what the Constitution says, but we don't just live in Jamaica. We live a part of the world and a part of the human race, regardless of how people feel about it.
Have some of those persons affected already been making contact with you or with the party?
I have spoken to each and every single human being yesterday that was affected, and I must tell you, majority of them are women and children who were significantly displaced by the prospects of formalizing their home situation.
All right. We're almost out of time, ISAT, but if you wish, what's the latest in your situation with the DPP and the JLC? Anything you can tell us?
I can respond to that. Media sensationalism would have caused the entire public to think that Isat Buchanan would have either stole money or done something untoward. I will say this. I was put before the GLC for several charges by the DPP, and every one that she brought against me, I was successful in defending. As I told the public, I was prepared to defend myself. And the first human being in modern society that has been found guilty of speaking the truth and chatting too much. And I will continue to do so until I have no more breath in my body.
So you're obviously quite buoyed by this victory.
I have I have a lot of respect for the general legal counsel. Let me say that.
Yes.
And the courts, a lot. And my colleagues that work at the DPP office. But I want the public to know that the very GLC is the is a panel of 17 that gave me the opportunity to practice law.
Oh.
I'm a very passionate person, but if I'm guilty of speaking the truth and informing the public, that is a guilt that I will wear, as I do with my former convictions from my former life.
All right. I said thank you for your time and your thoughts. Have a great day today.
Thank you.
All right. That was a chat with Isat Buchanan. He is the chairperson for the People's National Party's Human Rights Commission, and we focused a lot on the matter to do with the lands over there at Clifton Portmore and the effect of the demolition exercise that was recently undertaken. Right now it's time for us to move from just being Bridge 99 FM, broadcasting across Jamaica and into the Jamaican diaspora, but also teaming up with our partners over there in the United Kingdom. And we're talking about the Beat London 103.6 FM, where for them this afternoon, we find the big man, Robo Ranks.
Robo.
Wagwan, Robo.
Wagwan.
Good morning, peeps. I hope somebody was in our corner. I wish the ref was in our corner on Sunday.
Oh, you're blaming it on the ref?
I am definitely 100% blaming it on the ref. Two clear and obvious mistakes. One being the handball, and the second, how is that a soft foul, a penalty?
So
it wasn't even a foul. It was not foul.
You're not going with the narrative that you were soundly beaten by Arsenal?
No, that's not soundly beaten. 3-2 is not soundly beaten. 3-1 is soundly beaten. 3-2, definitely not soundly beaten. And I'm ashamed. I'm going to be supporting Brazil in the World Cup.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that.
If Jesus or Gabriel Jesus or anyone call him, Gabriel Selassie, whoever, if he rolls around the pitch like that in an embarrassing fashion, he would take away everything that he said about Neymar. That was embarrassing.
Oh Lord. Hey,
you have to, when you analyze you see the game like really fast and watch it. Yeah. When you analyze what was going on, man, that was just complete lunacy. And for a player to be fouled like how Diaz, who now is going to miss months of football because that was like a knee-breaking tackle. It looks simple enough, but players know what they do on the pitch. They know when they're out to strain a player or to injure a player. There was all that going on. Yes, we lost the game. Congratulations to Arsenal. They're playing fantastic football, flying up the table. How long that lasts, I don't know. But
I just want to represent for my team.
Things.
I just want to represent for my team who beat Everton 2-1 on the weekend.
I want to represent for you also.
Thank you.
How was that Marcus Rashford didn't deflect the ball, but just the ball passed his hand? Why are they making these rules so that is called a no-goal? If he deviated the way the ball spun and he controlled it after, but seeing Marcus Rashford goal chalked off was ridiculous also. The refereeing in this country is as bad as our politics.
Oh Lord.
That's all I can say. But anyway, good morning. Good morning.
Who do you trust?
Morning.
By the way,
you might as well made her the lineswoman or the VAR because just as bad.
You'd have more to complain about, I'm sure. Yes. Congratulations also to Ronaldo, who Shelz and myself were talking about it off the air. He scored his 700th club goal.
Done.
That's a big number.
What?
That's a big number.
Before we get into the vibes, Robo, how you feel about Klopp? I'm basically admitting that you guys are no longer in the title race. I mean, it's obvious, but does that bother you guys at all as fans?
No, I would rather people just be realistic about it. I mean, why are you playing to the cameras? Why you play? If you say it now, at least the owners will understand. Well, you know what? We kind of messed up in the summer. We're out of the title race. We have to address it. So what Klopp has done is the right way. Instead of bad mouthing the management and losing your work or pretending and the fans getting annoyed, just say it as it is. We are definitely out of the title race and we're now fighting for a European place, fourth. That's how it is. It's one of those ones.
Have we all decided on the team that we'll be supporting in the upcoming World Cup?
Oh, a long time.
Brazil for me.
Brazil.
And I would say
odds.
My second team. I just want to see how well they fare, just for the right reasons. Ghana.
Ghana, really? They always do well. Yeah.
Hey,
I just want to see. I want to see.
Usually have some surprises in the World Cup.
African Cup of Nations.
Some big surprises. the favorites, they would say, Brazil or maybe Germany. Or
Argentina's
Argentina.
the favorites, I
Yeah.
think. No.
Yeah.
Is France is up there too, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's another African football team.
yeah. To be fair,
When you look at the construct.
So that's why I was saying Ghana and obviously Senegal.
Senegal,
but I
yeah,
want to see the
Senegal's my
African teams.
yeah.
All African teams, including France, do very well in the World Cup.
Robert, careful, Robert, careful.
no, true, my dog. That's true.
It's true. Au revoir.
It's just a few weeks away.
Yeah, I can't believe
And it has been announced here that we will definitely be able to see it on free-to-air television.
Yeah.
As the
Oh,
gentleman
wow,
we
that's
had
brilliant.
on
That is
CBM
brilliant.
has gotten the
Ollie.
rights for it this year.
Big up, Ollie.
Yeah, Ollie is definitely on it. We have a very special guest who will be joining us any second now, and she is, in fact, the founder of the Family Unification and Resettlement Initiative, FURI, an organization that assists persons deported to Jamaica in transitioning to becoming productive citizens upon returning to their homeland.
Nice.
FURI was founded out of a concern for the impact of deportation on Jamaican nationals, as well as the far-reaching effects of those displaced individuals on Jamaica's development as a country. And of note, this our guest, a beautiful lady, she in fact has over 20 years experience working within the criminal justice system in the United States of America. She is a forensic social worker. And listen to this, she's also the social worker who worked with the Jamaican-born Lee Boyd Malvo, helping him to sever the psychological hold that he had of John Muhammad and regain his identity. And so we're very, very pleased to have her joining us this morning. We say good morning and welcome to Carmeta Alabrus, who is our guest at this time. Good morning, Carmeta. How are you?
Good morning. I am fine, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Back from my walk in Emancipation Park.
Yes.
I am feeling refreshed and enjoying our beautiful island.
All
That's
right. Glad so you got your morning exercise in.
That's right. Got to do that.
Yes, why not?
True.
I need to do that myself. But, Carmeta, I want to go back, if you will, for a little bit. Indulge us in what really was your role working with Lee Boyd Malvo, and how did that all come together as part of your resume, really?
Well, my specialty as a forensic social worker is working as a mitigation expert for death penalty cases.
Mm-hmm.
And I started, in this career of mine. I was a teacher in Jamaica before I migrated to the US.
Okay.
In 1989. And I'd sort of gained some level of national prominence with, these cases, because for one, you have very few people of color in, this field, and more so Jamaicans. And when Mr. Malvo was charged with these crimes, the hold that Muhammad had on him was so strong, and that they felt they needed someone with my background and someone who was Jamaican to see if they could loosen that hold. Because at the time of the arrest, my Lee Malvo was to have been the sacrificial lamb.
Oh.
He was to take the blame. I mean, he was so brainwashed by this man that anything that man told him to do, he would have done. And so when the defense team was put together, they realized that they were not getting anywhere with him. He was not cooperating. He was determined that they were not going to destroy his father or his dad, as he was calling Muhammad.
Okay.
And a number of individuals who know of my work within this, this environment said, you need to reach out to Carmeta in New York. And so they did. And that's how I got working on the case as a mitigation expert.
Okay.
And so said, so done. within 6 weeks of me working with him,
Yes.
he started to refer to me as mom.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
So he transferred that parental attachment. He started to transfer the parental attachment
From
Muhammad
to you.
to me, you know, as mom. Because, I mean, this kid was writing to me, and on the envelope, instead of my name, it was mom in quotation.
Wow.
Mom.
Yes, yes.
Dear mom.
And
Loving.
our listeners will remember this sniper case that was taking the world by storm. Everybody was talking about it, especially before the arrests were made. Well, good job, of course, and congratulations. Let's now focus our attention on FURI, which you founded some time ago, an organization that has been impacting lives. What can you tell us about it? When did it start, and what are the aims and goals for this organization?
Well, it started out of my concern for individuals who were sent back, because one of the things I recognized from my regular work, you know, in the criminal justice system is how displacement, the effect that displacement can have on an individual. And we as Jamaicans, we excel in all categories of life. And we also, there's quite a number of us within the criminal justice system, right? And so in working with my Jamaican clients and other immigrant clients as well, I realized that when they are taken from their home and they're brought into this, in the US, a lot of times the system and the support that they may have at home, it's not there when they come up. Because as we know, a lot of our Jamaicans, we focus a lot on work. We have more than one jobs. And so where you may have a child who was left behind with a grandmother or somebody, and then they come up with the expectation of having that close connection with the mother, usually the mother. Sometimes it is not there. And then, they fall through the cracks. And a lot of times, these very individuals, I'm not saying all, but because, there may be other protective, factors there. But a lot of them end up within the criminal justice system. And then, they were not citizens, so they are subject to deportation. And, in coming back and forth to the US on my work, in the forensic field and, meeting individuals, I come across persons who were deported. And I felt that, I didn't think there was anything, in place for them, which there really isn't much right now, because it's a category of people who are sort of marginalized, and there's a lot of stigma associated with it. And so I felt that, here again, there is displacement. Here again, there is this feeling of rejection. There is this feeling of abandonment, and all of these things, are there, and they act out in ways that are not good.
So it's all.
And so I said yes, and so I said, I am going to see what I can do, in my own way to try and alleviate the situation to the degree that I could.
And you definitely did a fantastic job. Enough respect goes out to you, Miss Alabrus. Shelz here, by the way. Good morning once again. We give thanks.
Good morning.
We give thanks for your initiative. Well done. Now, what are some of the services that FURI offers?
Well, one of the main things that we, it starts from in the US, all right? Because the organization is registered as a 501c3, a recognized charitable organization in the US. And so it starts there. And it starts with me providing information through the consulate for individuals understanding what they can expect upon deportation. So it started out, at first, all we did was send out, pamphlets saying where you can get services, if this is happening, because there are a number of social services organizations and NGOs in Jamaica And so we would provide them with information. We would provide them with things as to what they could do in terms of preparation. Don't spend your money, save your money, because people in prison work, of course, is, they, it's a money-making business, right? And so, and cheap labor. But I said that, whatever you get paid, if it's $30 a week, you make sure you save aside something. Make sure that you learn certain skills, because there are vocational, programs. Make sure you do that. Make sure you get your GED, do whatever it is that you can, so that when you come out here, you do have something.
A better chance of reintegrating into the free society. Yeah.
And so that is how it started. It started just like that, in terms of sending information to them.
Yes.
Because at that time we didn't really have a space per se, and we hooked up with the Salvation Army because they were doing something, and so we sort of hooked up with them, and then we would sponsor, certain clients, sending money down to them, and then we decided that we needed to have a space.
Yes, we have a limited time here, but I wanted to get to the event that's coming up. I understand you have an upcoming event. How can persons support this venture?
Yes, there is an event coming up on Saturday the 15th to celebrate 20 years of doing this work. And, our main speaker for the evening will be Archbishop Emeritus Charles Dufour, who has done a lot of work with the youth and in the prisons. And we are hoping for the support. It's going to be on Zoom. And so I'm going to give you the Zoom information.
Yes.
Because if you can't physically be there, you have a global audience. And a lot of people want to know what's going on when people are deported, know what to expect. And so we are going to have individuals who have been deported and who have made, some measure of reintegration to talk about their challenges and how they were able to navigate and negotiate in order to, we still standing. So it will be, as I said, at Four Seasons Hotel. The event starts at 6 p.m. Jamaica time, and we are hoping that it will be well supported. It's in terms of people understanding where we are.
What's the cost for being?
It's $50 US. And it's 7,000 Jamaican.
Okay.
The thing about it is this: we have to have by today the number of individuals who are going to be there, because it's a catered event, and we have got to let them know at the hotel how many people will be coming. But as I said, it's going to be on Zoom, and it's not like cost anything for anybody to log in on Zoom. And so that is very important. As far as I'm concerned, reaching that global audience is more important than anything else, because we really want people to know what is here for them. Because a lot of people don't even know that there's an organization like this,
right? What is the address that persons can tune into, and how can you be contacted, or for persons who would love to support?
Okay, well, the email is family, FAMILY UNIF @hotmail.com. Okay.
Yes.
The website is www.familyunification.net.
Okay.
And for the event, the Zoom ID is 632-585-7691.
That's 632-585
7691.
Okay.
And the passcode is 090361.
That's 090361.
Yes.
Okay. All
and
right.
so that is how people can log in and to see what is going on, and they can offer their support for the organization. Because we just at 90% complete renovation of our office that is located at 11 Graydon Avenue off Hagley Park Road.
Okay.
So,
Ms. Alabrus,
and the number there,
yes,
the number is 876-279-3283. and you can call that number. It's WhatsApp.
Okay. I want to thank you for spending time talking to us about this initiative, what you have been doing, which we consider very, very good work, and also the upcoming event where people can actually make sort of support so that you can continue to do what you have been doing over the years. I want to thank you, and I hope that this event will be a success, and we'll definitely stay in touch. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. All right. Have a great day now.
Thank you so much. Carmeta Alabrus, ladies and gentlemen, the founder of FURI, the Family Unification and Resettlement Initiative that assists persons deported to Jamaica in transitioning to becoming productive citizens. And she's definitely onto something good. We commend her. So, who's ready to catch you out?
Oh, boy.
A lie?
We're ready.
You're
ready, Romy?
Oh, boy.
This slang, it has really taken over the place. Yeah,
it's like a movement. I don't even know.
On TikTok, I'm like, oh my, everybody. I just saw T.I. doing a video with the same sound.
Yeah.
What's interesting, I was wondering if T.I. was going to run it because there's been jokes on social media for years about T.I. and how he wears his hats.
Exactly.
Because an Atlanta thing, catch it out one side. T.I. in a ramp would wearing his hats in different styles.
For members of the Bridge Nation who are hearing us talk about this catchy hat and don't have a clue what's going on, who can break it down for them?
Why Richie so like a prefect with this?
And for me,
the Bridge Nation who don't know about catchy hats.
So I think
it's Valiant, right? So
Valiant.
Yeah, so
otherwise called
Valiant.
Okay, all right, no worries.
So what I saw, I don't know if this is how everyone else got introduced, but apparently something was going a long time in Richie. But the viral video with Valiant, with Valiant, aka
him say something about cut that father.
Oh, a father depot Valiant name too.
Same.
Oh, it makes sense now.
Yeah,
all right,
so
the viral video, this youth in a green, that's Valiant, aka Father Depot.
Yeah.
I don't know what I go. I don't know if it's a shoot them up on our wall, a music video shoot or something. Them everybody direction they one way, but the person hold the phone and say, Father Depot. I hail him up, Father Depot, aka Valiant. Turn to the camera and say, Father, catch you at a lie. In reference to the fact that Valiant, the way he was wearing his hat. So he say, you catch you at a lie? And then Valiant respond and say, now I'm all a lie, fully rich a lie. And then it's just the vibes and everything. I don't know. It's so silly. But
it's so funny all at the same time,
and
it's like you understand it. That's what I love about the Jamaican culture, really. Like you can take the simplest of thing and it can go viral and it can be so funny. To the point where it reaches international now, because I'm telling you that everybody who is everybody is using the sound, especially on TikTok.
People love to clown around, I guess.
Yes.
No, man.
It's important.
It seems quite normal.
Fully.
Yeah, so it did not escape the notice or the attention of Julie Mango.
Of course
my
not.
favorite person.
Who put out a post that I found very funny.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we have decided to actually expose that to your ears this morning. Good morning, Julie Mango. And we're about to hear it any second now. This is what she has to say on the subject.
Your hat look very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Catchy hat a lie.
Excuse me?
Rich a lie.
Could you just come out of my house with that foolishness and that gibberish, you hear me? I wonder if you have mistake me for one of you look a combo of them. Me and you no size, Everything you learn out the road, you drag come inside here. But catchy hat. Go catch your 2 piece of plate them in the sink. You catch your clothes them run back where you want to wash from morning. Why you don't go and catch the broom and use it sweep out the house? The English test where you almost failed last week. Make you never catch that. Go catch your homework. What anybody see me dying trial? I might catch you 2 lick. Rich? A lie. So the little money when your granny give you last week, I hit you use come talk about you rich. You paying the bills inside here. Well, since you so rich, why you don't go and catch the light bill? Go catch water commission. Go and catch the book list for next school term. You know what is true? Give me back that money where your granny give you last week because you don't know what to do with yourself.
Grandma that give me the money.
Give it to me. Rank. Go catch your hat. Go catch your book.
Go catch your hat.
Jesus.
Go catch your book.
Legit how my mother would respond to it. Like, I can't.
Well done, Julie Mango.
Big up Julie Mango. But turn everything in our lecture.
Everything.
Poor child just want, I just show you the little trend.
Exactly.
Work with a trend. Go catch. Hey, listen, man.
Catch it.
No trend around here. Go catch the broom and clean up. Listen, as a matter of fact, catch your homework.
What sweet me, you know? What sweet me, you know? See parents will respond like that. And when you see them in a party, them I catch you at the most, you know. Remember me tell you.
Listen, man, you could not, like, in my household, you're there. First of all, know your place. Who you're talking to. You're a child.
Wow.
This is a great example of Jamaican parents.
Listen, catch the 2 plate when I see go and wash up. Me just rate out you
And
the
them
man
always figure out a way to take the money away your grandparents. Yeah.
She said,
Why?
what you say? Rich alive.
Rich
Rich
alive.
alive.
That's the money of grandma give. Well done, Julie Mango. Standing by to join DJ Roy over there in New York City from the studios of Irish Jam Radio for the Global Connection with Bridge 99 FM. And I think by now we have tracked him down because he was on our tracker. And any second now you'll hear something like, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know how he'll come through this morning, but we're saying good morning to DJ Roy. Jamaica's pride and joy. Morning, sir. How are you?
Doing fine, man. How you doing, man? Chilly on the outside, but you know we're not complaining.
Oh,
Football
gosh.
season.
Yeah. Kachi Atalai.
Oh my goodness gracious.
you know. I was gonna say, me need to make up a dance. Shelz, work with me, Shelz, for that one. There's the music, man. Work with me. Me and Richie B need to make up a Bridge 99 Irish Jam dance.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, man.
Because a long time I catch my hat and me never know I'm going to make a dance out there.
You just never decide to put the words together, you right? Jeez.
Richie B, when I came to your birthday celebration, when you got your proclamation, me have my hat cut.
Yeah.
Jano.
Exactly. You could have gone viral.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
What's wrong? I don't know, Richie. But again, you gotta admire the creativity of our artists and Caribbean people in general.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be about dancing. Anything at all, them put their mind to it. It becomes the new thing.
There's a flavor to it.
I am not knocking it. I mean, the young man, what's his name? Valiant. He's getting a lot of attention. And he's also putting out music that is helping his career. So for that, we're grateful. There are 2 things, though. One, he says he doesn't wear his hat straight.
Okay.
What does that mean? How do you wear your hat then? And secondly, I don't quite get it. Like
nobody really gets it. I don't care how versed you are in the dancehall culture. Nobody really gets it. Valiant himself, Father Depo, he not get it. He not understand it himself. But I'm sure he's giving thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand normal, a lie.
Exactly.
But
almost.
When I go catch you at a lie, may I try to figure it out, and I say, wait, how could I use this in like an intelligent conversation?
You'd be surprised.
Jody, help.
Jody, me now talk to you unless you're at catch. That's right, they're Jody today.
Maybe some people are going to start catch them here. Catch you here, a lie.
That's 30. Nah, call on nobody.
Right. We're living in a changing world.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
What we did back in the day is quite different how it's being done these days, and in a jiffy you can go viral and you can have the biggest song, the biggest slang, and the biggest talk just by going viral in a few simple seconds, eh?
Always, man. Jeez.
Thank God for TikTok.
Yes, sir. All right. So you had a good weekend, Roy?
Good weekend.
Glad to hear that.
I did a birthday party for, I'll have to say a young lady. She celebrated her 60th birthday party, and she had it actually at the new hotel right beside the casino, which is adjoined to the casino. You can go from the hotel into the casino. It's
in New York?
Hyatt. In New York. Yeah.
Okay.
The hotel now on the premises, which is connected to the casino, so you can go from the lobby of the hotel into the casino. And so I want to say happy birthday to Marshy. And
hey, Marshy, happy birthday.
Yeah, she had people coming in from all over the world for her birthday. People came from Israel, people came from Germany, and these are people these are Jamaicans that she grew up with, England, Boston. So it was a great gathering of her friends, and she enjoyed our birthday party thoroughly. They actually also taught me, I should say, how to do the Jerusalem dance. Now, I can't do it.
So it was worth your efforts to go to that party. You learned something.
Oh yeah.
You find a lot of Jamaicans hanging out at the casinos in and around New York and Atlantic City and all these places. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Caribbean people in general. What concerns me though is the senior citizens that are living on a set budget that you see coming in with their wheelchairs and their walkers. And I mean, the casinos open at 9 o'clock and they're there at 8:30, waiting to go in. And some of them have it under control because it's just a pastime for them. It's better them do something than stay home and do nothing. So I understand that. But some of them are losing their life savings.
Yeah. I've seen an elderly woman in Las Vegas actually. She emptied her all the money that she had in terms of cash, and then the machine also takes the credit card, and she goes on with the credit card until she's totally dry. In terms of monies, and she started shaking the machine and crying, and it was a sad sight. On that very same night, I decided to wager, and I won $800 in one of those machines. Man, I sat there for minutes just hearing the coins coming down. Pang, 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 pang. This was 1995, gentlemen. That money they would spend off lunch.
Just
That was at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
Wow. Man.
Oh yeah,